things, wouldn't it?
I have 1,001 things on my desk. Okay, so going out without script, and yes, you're live and 30 seconds behind Zoom. Okay, go back to hi. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Angie. Over here, I have actually, thanks for tuning in. Tell me where you are coming from and type in the chat box and say hi to me. You can actually type in the chat box. Oh, by the way, Kevin, you don't use Facebook, too bad. So everyone is tuning in from Facebook. And the purpose of having this session is to have up close and personal with a dear friend of mine, whom is Kevin Barber and Roger. And three of us, we actually have something in common, which is BNI Foundation. So I always get asked, what is BNI Foundation? Kevin, you will have a chance to answer that later, okay? So
thank you, Angie.
Yeah, the purpose of me having to invite you is just to clear the air of what is BNI Foundation and Business Voices. And before I begin, I would like to actually introduce you as someone that I actually know for the past 7 years, but knowing that your history in BNI is much longer, 16 years as a BNI Executive Director from Germany, but you're born British, okay? You're not German, but you're actually born in UK, but has been living in Germany for what I know in Southwest for the past more than 33 years, okay? Yeah. And knowing that you have 50 chapters, have more than 1,004 members, and you have been CPA for the past 24 years.
Chartered accountant or CPA or whatever you like to call it around the world.
Right.
That was a long time ago, about 100 years ago.
And tell me, you have actually attended 32 face-to-face BNI meetings around 32 countries. Is that a face-to-face or online?
No, that's face-to-face. I've been to 32 countries, so I'm still 41 to go. I think it's 42 now because I think we launched Panama yesterday. So I still got a full way to go. In theory, the last 2 years I was going to catch up, but I didn't. I fell behind.
Right. Okay. So you know what? When I met you 7 years ago in Johor during a national conference in BNI, what I was actually attracted to you was because your movement of BNI Connect 5. And definitely I'm going to ask you to explain what is Connect 5. And instantly you become a superstar in my mind. So I tell myself, I need to actually get connected with you. That's how I actually attracted to you and connected to you today. Okay, so yes, here we are, Kevin Barber from Germany, and can we actually welcome him? Kelvin, say hi.
Hey everybody.
Okay, so let me actually introduce the second friend of mine whom I met, I think about 6 years ago when I visited Hong Kong, and I called up one of the director which I met once in Malaysia. I told her, I'm actually in Hong Kong, you know, can we catch up or something? Instantly, she actually brought Roger to meet me. So here I am, Roger. We actually met for the past few years. And what make us actually get together, I think it's because of our profession, which is we are jeweler, and understood that you are 9 years a BNI member in Hong Kong, and also currently a support director consultant, MSP trainer, and a BNI assistant director for training in Hong Kong, and also the creator for BNI Diamond Pin. So welcome today, Roger and Kevin.
Hi, my friend Angie. Nice to see you again, and nice to see Kevin. Hello,
Okay.
all. How are you?
For those who just tuned in, would you mind to actually leave your message and say hi to us, either to Kevin or to Roger or to myself, and tell me where you actually come from and which BNI chapter you're from, and what time is your meeting meeting day and your time. Okay, so when I talk about Connect 5, okay, before I even go into BNI Connect, Kevin, can you actually tell us what is Connect 5?
Connect 5 actually happened nearly 10 years ago. I'm fortunate enough to have been in BNI so long that I knew Ivan Meissner quite well many years ago. And those of you who have been around BNI for a very long time might remember the time when BNI Connect just started, and it was honestly awful, and it was a problem. And I had a conversation with Ivan once and said, what can I do? And he couldn't really tell me. But I had a big map of the world in front of me and a pen, a marker pen, which had the brand Connect on it by chance. And I just thought, I wonder if you can actually connect the whole world using BNI Connect, even though it's not working, and meet people in different countries around the world in a week. So I was looking to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in different countries. You couldn't do that because there are no chapters on Monday. But I did manage to do Saturday in Long Beach, California, Tuesday morning in Melbourne, Australia, Wednesday in Singapore, Thursday morning in Dubai, and Friday morning in Germany. So it was 5 chapters, 5 continents, 5 working days. And the idea was really you seeing real people in real places with real faces and bringing them together. You can actually do that. So it was a bit crazy, and nobody's ever done it again because honestly, who would want to do it again? We flew from one meeting to the next meeting to the next meeting in 5 days. But it did give me a fairly big platform on BNI to talk to people, and I would never have met Angie and Roger without that. And you know, sometimes I hear people say BNI changed my life, and I say that's rubbish. BNI doesn't change your life. You change your life with the BNI that you bought and you paid for, and everything you get from BNI is yours. It's nothing to do with BNI. It's you did it. So that was what I did. And I used to be referred to, I think, as the little fat German with the English name, who flies around the world, connects his people, and everybody liked me. That even though I was not so good at a lot of things, it got me visibility. Does that answer your question, Angie?
Yes, the thing that actually caught my eye was BNI Connect 5. And when did you actually start the movement of BNI Connect 5?
That was 2011. I was on my birthday in 2011, 22nd September 2011. 22nd of September, 2 weeks today. Anybody, just in case you're interested? I was sitting in an Irish pub in Tel Aviv, having just had dinner with Ivan and Beth and a few other people, and I was alone on the evening of my birthday. So I went out, took my laptop, sat in the Irish pub next to Israelis, English, Germans, Russians, and I created the idea for BNI Connect 5 going to various chapters around the world. And that's when it happened, and we did it once. And Ivan said, that's a cool idea. And then when I asked him to sort of help a little bit, he said, you're not really going to do it, are you? You're not seriously going to do it. But we did it, and we brought out a nice video. If anybody wants to see the video, go onto YouTube and look at BNI Connect 5 2012. BNI Connect 5 2012. You'll see the video. It's very long, but it is credited with changing the way the organization saw BNI Connect. So I'm still a bit proud of that. And as I say, it got me to meet a lot of people. You can only meet a lot of people within BNI by doing something. You can't meet a lot of people by just sitting there and waiting.
Right. Would you mind to tell me which are the countries that you cover for the first time for 2012, right? What was the country?
Yeah, well, the 2012 video, 2012 is the name of the video. It's actually shot in 2011, and that was the US, Australia, Singapore, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Germany. And we continued a year after that. We did 4 more. It was not always 5 countries, and it was not always in 5 days. In fact, it was never again in 5 days, because that is gaga.
Of course, with the current scenario, you will never do it in 5 days because you need 14 days to quarantine yourself, right? For certain countries.
That's right. But you could actually, I'm wondering if you could actually somehow do like 15 in 1 day, like 3 Connect 5s in 1 day.
Right.
You can get 5 Connect 5s in 1 day if you didn't stay for the whole meeting. So you never know. Haven't given up yet.
Right. Right. I see. So for me, the minute you actually mentioned Connect 5, I actually logged into YouTube and check out what was Connect 5. And the thing that actually amazed me was like you're rushing to the airport and travel from one place to another. That really amazed me. That's how I actually, not to say your little fans, I'm a huge fan of you, okay? So without you knowing, okay.
Thank you. That's Angie. That's lovely to know. And you know, when people get to stand up on stages, I mean, I know Roger and you have seen me standing up and speak about BNI and BNI Connect and the foundation that happened as a result of that. And people within BNI, they normally get put on stage because they're really, really good at something. They're good at launching chapters. They're great at training. They're great at supporting chapters. I get put on stages because I'm the best person in the world at sitting on airplanes. Okay. So, you know, you can always find your niche, even if you're not really good at something.
Okay, for those who just tune in, hi, Murali, Chi Hao, good to see you here. For those who actually tune in, do actually leave your message and say hi to me, or else I do not know whether you actually tune in or not, okay? So a question to you, Roger. Tell us about your journey in BNI. Just now I mentioned 9 years in BNI. And
Right.
tell us a bit about your journey in BNI.
Actually, it was, be honest, I know BNI before, 2 years before I joined the BNI. Because I still remember once I went for a visit to a site visit. Then I know someone, then we exchange card. You know, that has happened, right? And then after a few weeks, you know, that guy who I exchanged card, and he asked me, hey, I have a friend that would like to open a new shop and they would like to buy some jewelry, whether you can do it for them. And then that's why, you know, he connect me with a friend that newly opened a new shop so that, you know, I do business. And a few months later, that guy asked me again. He said, hey, I am going to have a meeting with some friends. Would you like to join us? And he sent me a message about BNI, and then in the morning meeting, because I was traveling quite a lot at that time, and of course I searched what is BNI, and then I told him that I really cannot because I fly quite a lot, and then but I know BNI. What is BNI? Because I still remember the video that I saw. You know, exchange of referral, only one category in one place. So I just say, oh, might be a really, really good platform. However, that it might not be the right time for me. However, 2 years later, then I got a chance. I started up my own business, and then I got to bump into my supplier of the computer program. So he said, hey, now you're having your new business. Would you like to know more about a business owner? So that he asked me to go, and then he sent me the message again. It is BNI. So that's why I went. And on the first day I joined the meeting, and then I considered already to sign up, because I still remember at that moment 9 years ago, the total number on the world is 170,000 members. And what impressed me, I still remember the president said, local business, global network. So for me, my target is an overseas customer. And I think, wow, if there are 170,000 members, if I only get 10% or 1% that be connected, then maybe already good enough. Then I don't need to fly too much like before. And this is why
Right.
I joined it.
I see. Okay, you took 2 years, never too late to join. Okay, for me, someone who actually went in instantly because I saw another jeweler by my side. I asked for the form, come, let me fill up the form. So I went in straight away. Okay, so Kevin, I just wonder, were you a member ever before?
No, I wasn't actually, and that's the thing I don't always say. I sometimes say if I remember it, but you know, I was never a member. So do I actually know what I'm talking about? I was invited also by my computer program supplier, Roger, and went to this meeting, and there were 20 people there, or 19 people, and they were waiting for the 20th so they could launch. And I was going to sign up, but it was an hour away. It was an hour away in Frankfurt, and I thought, I don't care. I can go there every week. And then I realized I couldn't give anything there. I could only receive there. So I called BNI and said, you know, where's the nearest chapter? Can we go to one in my city? And they said, no, we don't have one. Would you like to start one? And I said, I'm sorry, I'm an accountant. We don't start anything. You know, that's not what accountants do. We just sit there and wait. So no, not quite. But So I got involved in it somehow, and told my dad I bought this American franchise system, and he thought I was crazy. He doesn't think I'm quite so crazy anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So three of us,
So that was 2004.
2004. So three of us come from a different background and different experience, and came from a different way of ending up in BNI, I would say, yeah. And for those who just tune in, hi Edna, hi, Drago, and Kenshin, thanks for tuning in. Yes, hope to actually stay tuned until later because I will be asking them more questions, okay? Kevin, can you actually tell us about, because I saw your background, Business Voices and BNI Foundation. Would you mind actually to share with us what is actually BNI Foundation per se?
Yes, I will, gladly, Angie. Thanks for the opportunity. Maybe just one thing to add on to the last question. I was never a member, so what am I? What am I doing here? I'm an executive director in the southwest of Germany. So I've been doing this for 17 years, and BNI members in my region have nearly reached $1 billion US business. So I think I worked out how it worked, but I was never a member. You're quite right. So we did the Connect 5 thing in 2011, called it 2012, did another one 13, 14, 15. And after I'd been around the world 3 times with Lawrence, it was fun, but it was all like the product was always the same. It was Kevin's fun trip around the world. And that's, this is a bit self-glorification. Yeah? What's the point to keep doing it? So we started connecting with children's foundations, children's organizations in every country we went to, so that at least this trip that I was doing was helping kids around the world. That got me into the BNI Foundation, and in 2017 it was, I had a phone call from Beth Meissner, bless her soul. I thought she was going to tell me something bad, but in fact she was offering me the job as chairman of the BNI Foundation, because we had a situation there that somebody was leaving and they needed a replacement. And the BNI Foundation is actually started in the US, but is not only in the US. We have the BNI Foundation Worldwide Inc., based in US, and we have 10 other foundations in 10 different countries. Foundations in that case being registered NGOs. Not in Hong Kong, not in Malaysia. Yeah? The BNI Foundation is, to me, not only a registered NGO in certain countries, but it is a mindset, it's a movement. I think most of the people on the call today are probably from BNI. BNI is a unique organization, and we want the BNI Foundation to be a unique organization too. And what do I mean by that? Givers Gain is our soul. Givers Gain is what we do to help each other. 280,000 people helping each other. Why would we not then want to help children and education in our local communities? Because children are the future. Children are the future customers, suppliers, neighbors, police, everything, whatever you have. Children are going to help us in the future, take over us in the future, and children have got to solve the problems that we haven't been able to solve, or maybe we've even caused. So within the BNI Foundation, there are 2 components. One is the Givers Gain grant program. That means that when donations come in, we can give donations out again. If we don't have any money, we can't give any donations. The Givers Gain grant program is the money part. And Business Voices part is, as my colleague David Kaufman calls it, the boots on the ground part. It's the time, the talent. Angie and Roger and Kevin deciding to go to a local school and say to that local school, hey, we're 3 businessmen from Hong Kong, Malaysia and Germany. We'd really like to help you. What do you need? What do you need to help your children's education experience and passage to business life and adulthood be better? And with our time and our talent and the willingness to help with BNI members, helping those children. So that is Business Voices. Business Voice action. Givers Gain grants is money. As Ivan Meissner says, doing, not dollars, but dollars are important too.
Right, Givers Gain grant is actually the dollar, and
yes, I mean, we most foundations give money, receive money, and give grants to organizations. Yeah, that's what foundations do. But I don't want people to look at Kevin and say, oh, this is the time when he's going to come and ask us for money again. It's not only about money. If we have money as a foundation, we can help more people than if we don't have money. Money will always be important. But within BNI, we don't have a revenue model. We don't have a certain amount of income. So we're reliant on chapters raising money which they wish to give to children in their community, etc. Or small donations. You know, Roger has created this incredible, I get my fingers in the wrong place, this incredible diamond pin, which I'm sure he'll talk about, this full diamond pin here. Roger gives a share of the proceeds from this pin, Angie's showing it at the moment, to the BNI Foundation. So we do have money coming in certain amounts, and we can help children with computers that are needed. In India at the moment, we have a project where children badly affected by COVID, their parents affected, the parents' businesses affected. We will pay for them to continue to go to school for the next year. So the focus is very much on children and education. But you know, whether it's money or whether it's actually hands-on adults helping children, I personally think it's going to be the time that adults spent with children that is going to be the most important in the future. Because young people, they're crying out for relationships with adults. We just don't always know quite how to talk to them because they're on these phones, and we don't quite know what to do as parents sometimes. But that's our problem, that's not theirs.
But Kevin, would you mind to actually share with us which are the 10 countries that you just mentioned have the BNI Foundation legal
I will
entity?
do my very best. So in fact, it's 11, so I have to do this in the right order so I get the right number. US, Canada, Japan, France, and Germany were the original ones.
Oh my, can you slow down a bit? I actually need to write it down, put in the text. Wait.
United States.
US, United States, Canada. Yes.
Japan. France, and Germany. Germany. That was the first 5. They were the 5 that were there when I came on board with the foundation worldwide, which is the US Foundation. Since then, Spain, Australia, UK, Vietnam, India, and Belgium.
Vietnam has a legal entity.
I understand it, yes. I haven't seen the paperwork, but I understand that they do. I was told that
Australia, UK, Vietnam, and India.
Vietnam, India, and Belgium.
Belgium, okay.
The interesting thing about Belgium, if I may just share it for a moment, in Belgium, it was decided not to make a registered NGO. That's too much work. It's money. It's too much administration. We're going to do business voices. Businesses voices is just us getting together doing stuff. And Karen Kless, the lady who initiated the whole thing, created so much interest from people that people were coming to her and saying, yeah, I don't really have much time, but I wouldn't mind donating money. So the result of Business Voices in Belgium was that a registered NGO now exists in Belgium for donations to be passed through. You know, this all takes time. People come to BNI to earn money, not to give money away. You don't come to BNI to work for other people. You come to BNI to work for yourself. So it's really, really important to know that helping the community gives you not only a warm feeling in your heart, which is important for a lot of people, but it gets you very, very visible. And we're all trying to be visible, and this gets us visible in our community, right? It also gets us to meet people that we would never otherwise meet. We're meeting cool people because we're doing this. So that's why I think people should be involved, because it helps them grow their business as well.
Right, thanks for highlighting the visibility, okay? Because a lot of people ask me how to be more visible in the organization. I would like to tell them, not about just doing good in their business, but be part of the movement that is more meaningful. And in that way, perhaps your visibility will actually shoot up rocket high, yeah? Okay.
I don't think we should be helping children because we feel sorry for them. That doesn't help anybody. Yeah, we should be helping children to put them in a position to be able to look after themselves, to buy our businesses from us, to be more successful as humans. And you know, if we were just doing it to tick the corporate social responsibility box, that's no good. And let me tell you one thing, Roger. Even if you hate children, it still works. Okay.
I love children. Don't worry.
Thank you. I was hoping you were going to say that.
I actually need to address some of the questions being posted in Facebook. Ken Chin actually asked, does BNI look to collaborate with local charitable organizations, or BNI independently reaches to the community? Would you want to take that, Kevin?
I am not 100% sure that I understand. The hope is that in the near future, in each country, in each BNI country, there will be a representation of the BNI Foundation, whether it is on a registered NGO level, so donations coming in, donations coming out, which we just set up in India, or whether it is on a business voices level where people in Hong Kong and Malaysia are just getting involved with the local community and recording what they're doing. The expectation of local foundations is often that the BNI Foundation has millions in the bank and that we need local foundations to take our money. We don't have millions in the bank and we don't need people willing to take the money. So from that point of view, connecting the BNI Foundation with charities in your country might be very valuable, but as long as they understand that we're looking to collaborate in some way. Because, you know, one of the coolest things about these foundations is they have networks. They have networks of people that we will never meet. We have networks of people that they will never meet. So we can collaborate with them without money very, very well. We can do joint projects together. If you're talking about a country that doesn't have a BNI Foundation, do a Business Voices activity in that country and do a joint event. BNI members and charities members, foundation members. That doesn't mean they're getting money from us, but it does mean we're getting access to their network and they're getting access to ours. And who knows what come of that? Does that answer the question?
Yeah, Kenshin, do actually let us know whether Kevin Barber actually answer your questions, knowing that.
Otherwise, kevin@bni.com and I will call you.
Okay, so I will actually leave that Kevin at BNI. It's
Yeah,
your
Kevin,
email,
not
right?
L, yeah.
Okay, I will actually type that out. If you have any personal questions that you want to channel it to Kevin, so I'm actually writing Kevin at BNI.com.
.com.
So short. That's
Yeah.
a privilege. Okay,
I was the first
just
Kevin.
type out Kevin at BNI.com. If you really have further questions, that you can actually channel the questions to Kevin directly. Kenshin, by the way, what I understood, yes, we actually, BNI Foundation, do actually collaborate with local charitable organizations and to make that event a success. So it does not necessarily means it involves money. Sometimes it involves only network. Okay, so this is what I understood. Okay. Yes.
I think I know Ken. Ken, do I know you? I think I do.
Yes, you know Ken Chin from it used to be Ampang chapter. Okay. So by the way, you actually mentioned 10 country that is actually has the registered NGO. By the way, is there any other countries that is no legal entity? How many countries so far has actually signed up for BNI Foundation worldwide? Any numbers?
Well, Malaysia has, because you're sitting there. Hong Kong has, because you're sitting there, Roger. Italy does more Business Voices activity than the whole of the rest of the world together. If you ever get a chance to look at Business Voices, Italy, absolutely phenomenal. There's a lot of Business Voices activity in the US, many groups in the US. And also, I know there's a lot of Business Voices activity in Taiwan. Yeah. Our wish is, my wish, my dream, my goal, whichever word you want to use, is that in every BNI country, there is a BNI Foundation. I have a BNI Foundation go-to person, as I do in Hong Kong and in Malaysia now with my two friends here. That BNI Foundation might never be registered as actually NGO is not really the right word, non-profit, yeah? It might never have a registered non-profit in Hong Kong because for various reasons, tax, accounting, finance, it just doesn't work, yeah? That can be a lot of money. Cost a lot of money, but I want a BNI Foundation go-to person in every country, and in every country, somebody like Angie and somebody like Roger who will connect with the individual regions in that country, because this is actually to make you all help you all grow your business, whether it's BNI chapter or your jewelry businesses. This is what we do. Give us game, it's called.
Right, I see. So Kevin, but so far, how many countries have actually signed up? Is that a number of 30, 40, or 12, 15, or is there
No,
any
I mean,
number?
we're looking at the 11 where we have a non-profit, plus maybe 5 or 6 who formally said they're doing something. But there's a lot of other people interested, you know. And the difficult thing, the easy thing about the non-profit is non-profit registered, has a bank account. That's there. Business Voices means 3 people come together and do a Business Voices project, and we might never find out about it. That's always the challenge. You know? So we're looking for some structure so that no Business Voices projects happen in Hong Kong without Roger getting involved. But we're not going to keep pushing Roger for reports, because that's boring and a waste of time. Anybody who gets involved with the BNI Foundation has to have fun and not feel burdened by administration.
I just
Right.
suddenly got a question for you, Kevin and Angie. I'm not too sure whether it can happen. Since now we are using online, you know, that will be a lot easier than, I mean, compared to we are doing offline things. So do you think that, you know, we can group all the related person that related to Business Voices or BNI Foundation, then we can have a meeting so that we can exchange and share, you know, information about that?
Yes, that is not only the plan and the wish, it is also the reason I need to apologize to everybody for not having organized it earlier. It is long overdue that we do something like that. You know, we have a few things that we're trying to get fixed. We're trying to get the website fixed. There's a few bits of the website which are not quite brand compliant. We need to get our story updated. But since the beginning of last month, or the end of the month before, we have a wonderful lady called Lauren Strange, who is now full-time employee of the BNI Foundation in the US. She's doing a great job. And we're really, really confident now that very, very soon, maybe before Christmas or just after Christmas, Roger, we'll be able to get everybody at least together for the first meeting so we work out what we don't know yet.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
You actually have a lot of friends who say hi. We have someone from Philippines. I do not know how to actually pronounce your name.
Mabuhay.
Delmar, Imran, Brian, Kevin, and there are a few more which I can't actually see from my screen. Okay, and Kevin, I actually do have a questions about what is some of the activities that is significant for you, enough for you to share some of the BNI Foundation or Business Voices activity that is significant enough for you to share that is really impacting you?
Okay, I mean, the last year and a half have been a lot more difficult because obviously our activities really live from being together with kids or helping kids who are together. And in the last 18 months, a lot of children haven't been together. They simply haven't physically been together. So it's difficult to do, you know, a backpack drive when you don't actually get to see the kids. What we are looking to, what's happened in the past and what we are looking to for the future maybe is even more interesting. We are not 100% certain yet, but we're looking at the possibility of doing an International Business Voices Day next year, or Business Voices Week. A little bit like the International Networking Week, but related to Business Voices at BNI Foundation. And the idea then would be that BNI members hold a chapter meeting in a local school. You know, schools have business classes. Schools have education about getting ready for leaving school. They're not necessarily quite what the children need, but they're trying. You know, they're doing a lot of good work these days. And what we would like to do is hold a BNI meeting in a school, because then the children in the school, the older children, can see how modern business people work together, how they help each other. Yeah. So a Business Voices activity for me is people in BNI around the world looking for a local school to hold their local chapter meeting as soon as it is safe to do so. What do? We go in, we hold the chapter meeting, maybe 2 or 3 of the students can present about their future job wishes. And afterwards, people like Roger, people like Angie, but electricians, lawyers, accountants, stay in the school and answer questions about what it's actually like to do this job. Because what we find is there's a disconnect between what happens at school and the real world outside. Children are not prepared for the real world outside. And I think BNI members can play a huge, huge role in covering that gap. Because, you know, there's a lot of kids there who just don't have any experience of what it's like once you leave school. And we're perfect position, I think, to fill that gap and to mentor kids. And just imagine you give the children in the school the homework which says, go home. Now you've heard about all these professions and what we do all day. Go home and talk to your parents about what they do at work, what their business is or what their job is. There's a lot of children go home and don't talk to their parents, right? They go to their room. They go to their room and play games. Now the homework now is go home and talk to your parents and interview your parents. You think the parents are going to be happy or sad? I think the parents will be happy. And I think they will be interested in knowing that BNI people came in and gave them children the benefit of their advice about careers, because this stuff doesn't get taught at school. I was 47 when I joined BNI and I learned our core values. Roger, Angie, our core values are not rocket science, are they? They're easy. Yeah. But I didn't know until I was 47 how powerful they are when you put them together. I thought I got to be better than everybody else. I didn't realize that by cooperating, life is more fun, more success, and easier. I wish I'd known that when I was 17. So I think we need to go into schools.
Never too late, Kevin, okay? So I remember I started not officially as BNI, part of BNI Foundation in Malaysia, but rather it was purely because you flew over to Malaysia to do some movement with us. It was even a title being given to anybody, but we actually did quite a fair bit of movement because of Marcus believed, our National Director of Malaysia, BNI Malaysia, actually believed in contributing and giving back to the society. So we remember I did the night walk, that means feed the homeless.
Yeah.
And I think Malaysian have actually done a lot of sponsoring to study program, the reading program by the member. So we have actually raised quite a number of kids to increase their standard of reading, just by reading. So thanks for the very wonderful initiative, Kevin. Otherwise, I wouldn't have actually done some of the movement that you led with Lawrence.
Thank you, Angie. Okay. If we have time for a story at the end, I'll tell you a story.
Really? I want to hear the story. Hi, Roger. Over here, I actually have a pin that I actually bought from you about some time ago. This is actually a BNI diamond pin, and it's actually made from white gold. I just wonder, is there any you actually contribute 20% of the sales proceed to BNI Foundation worldwide. Would you want to tell us why you actually do this and how the idea come about?
Well, as what Kevin said, because we learn givers gain in this platform, and we do get quite a lot of things from BNI platform, like business, friendship, and also a lot of inspiration and also a lot of learning from this platform. And in some day, I just wonder whether we can do something in order to help the community in BNI, because I am also serving as a chapter director and also a trainer in Hong Kong to serve the community. But because I'm not too sure whether Kevin remember why and where we met. Do you remember?
Bangkok?
Yes, you're right. And that was in a chapter meeting that we were in together. And then I was just showing, because we had 30-second introduction. And then I was introducing with my BNI diamond pin that I made. And you know why I got this BNI diamond pin concept? Because I need to say thank you to Mr. Filbert, because he when he came to Hong Kong in 2013, that was my first year, he was on the stage, asked us, do you know why we need to wear the BNI pin? And he said this is a silent salesman for him, and he also do some trick. He turned it upside down always, and that's why people will ask him about what it is, and then he can talk about his business and also about BNI. So I just thought, I was stunning. I was sitting there. What if, I'm a jeweler, what if I do something for my own logo? And then what if, would that happen, the same magic? And then I finally consider to do one of my own logo with you see the logo. Then until then, the magic comes. Everywhere where I go, people ask me, "Hey, Roger, what is that on your shoulder?" Then I can talk about my business. And this is what I learned from Mr. Filbert, and the BNI system. Oh, this is working. This is somehow that, it helps me to get more visibility, as Angie said, so that, I learn and I try to talk to many, many people. And then suddenly one day, there is a lady come to Hong Kong, and I'm sure the lady is Miss Hazel Walker. She also came to Hong Kong for a visit and then to a training for us. After the training, you know what happened? We were having a little chat, and she spotted my shoulder. She asked me, "Hey, Roger, what is that on your shoulder?" And I thought, wow, that the magic comes. Even a trainer asked me, what is that on my shoulder? And then I talk about, oh, I'm a jeweler. I do design and production. And then second question she asked, "Hey, is that real diamond, Roger?" I said, yes, because I'm used to use a diamond in my production. And you know what? At third thing she asked this time, she said, "Hey, Roger, can you do one real BNI diamond pin for me?" And then she became my first international referral. And started from there, I start to think, hey, maybe I can do something with the BNI pin. And then, of course, while using the BNI pin, I am sure I also want to do something to for BNI. And there is hardly to find anywhere to donate money before, but after that, I learned there is a BNI Foundation. And then suddenly in someday, maybe law of attraction, then I met with Mr. Kevin Brava in Bangkok, and then I talked to him about this, and then finally, doing a little bit more. So until today.
Right, very
Very good.
inspiring stories.
That was
Very, very
2015,
inspiring.
Roger. Yeah, 2015 Bangkok.
Yes, you're right.
Right,
So
I
and
see.
time really flies, and
Yeah.
it happens even though for the first day that we met, we talked little about, but we did not, getting so much effort on that project idea. However, in 2018, the global convention is held in Thailand again. Then I met Calvin again, and then we talked a little bit about, and then we met Bab together, and we learned about a little bit more about BNI Foundation and Business Voice. And on that day, because I had a booth with a friend in Hong Kong, Miss Ellen Mok, we actually had an arrangement. Whatever we sold on that day, we have 50% donate to BNI Foundation on that day directly. So we raised it more than $1,000 on that day, and then that's why we just give it out to BNI Foundation, and and that happens again. Then thank you for Calvin to help me quite a lot for the arrangement afterward.
Okay, I just want to say thank you for people who just tuning in to the Facebook Live. Hi, Mackie. Hi, Richard. Hi, Delma. And someone from Philippines, he said he cannot wait to see BNI Foundation to be activated in Philippines. Is actually Philippines being activated?
Kevin@bni.com.
Okay.
Right to me,
Delmar,
sir.
Delmar can actually channel your request and your question to Kevin Barber directly, okay, via email. Roger, by the way, what's your plan about your BNI pin now? Where can we get it? And how does the arrangement now?
Okay. For this, actually, this is the new logo, as you can see, because the new logo is created on 2020. And I just think maybe also I need to change it, because Angie, what you got is a few years back, that is the original BNI logo. But now, of course, BNI changed the brand of the logo. So I also enhance it, and be honest, that is a little bit different on the design and on the creation of the diamond pin also. So what I have an idea, I want to make it really, really prestige in order to help more for the BNI Foundation, because I have a dream. I'm not too sure whether I did tell you. I have a dream. I want to donate 1 million Hong Kong dollar for BNI Foundation, I mean, whatever it's the Business Voices or the foundation, so that, you know, from this BNI pin, we can do together, not only helping the kids' education, not only helping the BNI Foundation in order to build the community and the branding, you know, so that, you know, we are not only one side of doing business, but we are care on the community and also the kids' education. And third, I'm sure together we have one theme that we can go in, and everybody, just like today, you know, a lot of people can see online now, so that, you know, a lot of places, they are having the idea of creating the BNI Foundation in their own country, so that they can help their own community. And I just really love what Kevin just said, you know, not only creating an entity, but we are working on it, you know, using Business Voices, then we are already there to helping our own community. And I think this is just a wonderful idea. Thank you
Right,
for
thank
that,
you,
Kevin,
Roger.
and you know, the team.
Wow, raising a $1 million for BNI Foundation is a big dream. Okay, so how many pins you actually need to be sold? What's your target of number of pins, BNI diamond pin, that you plan to sell?
Thank you.
In
For
order to
this,
raise 1 million?
actually, it's because it's a new one, so that we want to make it a little bit more prestige. So there is only a limited edition of 2020 pieces in the world, because this is created in 2020. So I hope to you know, to give out a 20% for this pin. Whatever we sell, then you know, that will goes to the BNI Foundation arrangement, so that later on we can do something, you know, really different. And what I want to tell you, Kevin, I have a good news for you. I already raised $1,000 already.
Right, good.
But of course,
okay.
my dream is 1 million Hong Kong dollar. That is about $130,000. It's still
Okay, but
a way to
Roger,
go.
you already told Angie that the pin she is wearing is no longer brand compliant, so she needs a new one.
Oh yes, Angie, yes.
So we're a little bit closer, just a little bit closer.
One step closer.
Okay, Kevin, just now you said you want to tell me something. Please tell me now. I cannot wait. Can you tell me now?
Okay. No, I mean, it's just really an indication. Roger said about talking about helping children in the community. The children need us, but we need the children. That's, you know, that's the way future works. Yeah. So if we can pass on our skills, our knowledge, our advice, our caring, the fact that they know that adults care about them. I don't think some do nowadays. So, you know, make sure people in the community know that they care. And the story I was going to tell you, yes, Angie, on that night, we were walking around the streets of Kuala Lumpur. That was part of Connect 5 2017, I think. And it was a mission to help people on the streets, homeless people on the streets, not specifically children related, just homeless people on the streets. And I didn't know how many people there were. I thought, you know, Kuala Lumpur is all jewels and bright lights and everything's fine. I didn't realize how many people are on the streets. And there were two girls, one very young girl and an older girl with her mom. And I've never been on the streets. You know, I live in such a comfortable environment all my life, not rich, but certainly not poor. And going around the streets at night with people who were probably taking something to deaden their pain or their sorrow, plus not having enough to eat. That was different for me. And these two little girls there with mom, and they're actually in the video that we made for Starfish, which was the organization that we helped. And you know, the next day you still have it in your mind, and slowly it disappears from your mind. And I was speaking to Jerison Doss, the founder of Starship, something else. That's Sky Wars, yeah. And I was talking about this little girl. She was so cute, and her sister was there, and I'm like, oh gosh, this poor little girl. And I couldn't stop talking about this poor little girl. And what I didn't know for about 2 years after that was that Jerison and his wife, they couldn't hear me speaking about this little girl anymore. They went on the streets every night to try to find her. And they went out every night for 2 weeks, and they couldn't find her because the mom didn't like the bright lights and you know, the attention. And they finally found her. and they got the mom off the streets into a job, and the little girl went to school, and the older sister went to school. And when we were in Malaysia, last time I was there on the stage with Ivan, Jerison surprised us with, and by the way, the older sister just graduated second in her class. And even today, that gives me goosebumps. And if you ever want to know why you get involved in the BNI Foundation, it's for the goosebumps that I'm feeling now telling that story. Because that little girl went to school because I couldn't forget her. And anybody can do that. And it cost me nothing.
Yes, thanks for bringing me to the street. I never been to the street in Kuala Lumpur as well. Because of you, I went a few times, okay, to feed. To feed.
Because of me, Angie ended up on the streets of Kuala Lumpur at night. There has to be careful when you tell that story.
Yes, I don't go out alone at night in Kuala Lumpur. Anyway, thanks for experience, Kevin. And would you want to actually tell us what are your future plans for the BNI Foundation?
I think we need 73 Rogers and 73 Angies in 73 countries who want to have the same impact. And, you know, we don't just do it to help. We do it because the visibility is good for us. That's what we do at BNI. So Angie gets visibility, Roger gets visibility, the kids get help, and everybody's better off as a return. And I want to see the BNI Foundation in every country. And I want to see, you know, if you're talking about vision, it's not the official BNI Foundation vision. You can come up with a different vision every day if you're asked the question. But I want to see children around the world, underprivileged, underserved, maybe endangered children, poor children, children who didn't have the chances that some of our children have the chance to experience the support of older people, the support of adults, the support of business people, to teach them values that they need when they get older, so that when they leave school, whatever time that is, that they are equipped to become successful and good people. You know, we talk a lot in BNI about values. We talk about values all the time. Nobody ever talked to me about values when I was at school or college. Did they hear? We didn't talk about values. Okay, you've got to be honest. You've got to clean your plate. You've got to say please, and you've got to say thank you. But these values, you know, respect, appreciation, feedback, trust, working together, nobody ever talked about that. And I think, you know, that's what I want to see. BNI people in every country through the BNI Foundation teaching their communities that they will be more successful and they don't have to pay anything if they just use the experiences that we've had over the years that we built up BNI. That's my dream.
Right, very big vision. Okay, so BNI Foundation in every country. That is your mission.
Yes.
And do you have a deadline for it, Kevin?
Before I leave this earth. My daughter has said, I'm 64, I'll be 64 in 2 weeks. My daughter has said I have to live to be at least 80, or otherwise she's going to hit me. Don't quite know what that means. No, I mean, we live in strange times. We live in awkward times. We live in times when it's easy to feel a bit, you know, how are we going to do all this? Yeah. And it's easy to set targets. By the end of next year, we want to have this done. Well, yeah, we all do that. But if every year we get a little bit better, if every day and every week and every year we get a little bit better, and we get a few more people. You know, Roger and I, Angie and I, we've been talking about this for 2 or 3 years, but you have your lives, you have your businesses, you have your families, so do I. We don't always get around to doing it quickly, and we don't want to burden you with all this. This has got to be fun. This has got to work, not be, oh my God, I don't want Kevin's calling me. Oh no, I haven't done the report. That's not the idea. So it's going to take time. It's probably going to take longer than we want it to. But you're doing this for free.
Thanks for telling me, Kevin, so that I don't really have too much pressure on performing. And tell you what, BNI Malaysia have just came up with a very small movement about reading program.
Cool
and
project. Very cool.
We're going to sponsor 20 kids for their reading program. And at the end of the 15th session, they should be able to go for assessment. Definitely, there should be an increment of their reading capacity. Okay, so
this is English language reading, yeah? English language?
English.
Yeah.
For this one is English. Yeah.
So can we do a Facebook Live with some of them one day?
I'll
maybe.
speak. Yes, I will do that. I want to improvise my online skill first. Okay, FB Live skill. I need to actually get that done first. Okay, by then
Okay.
we will be definitely rolling this out by October on this
Excellent.
program for 15 weeks. We test it in Kuala Lumpur. If it's successful, then we roll it out nationwide. Okay, so this
Very
is
good.
my report to you for this year, but officially we're going to take this off next year, hopefully. Okay, so how about you, Roger? Do you have any plan for BNI Hong Kong, for BNI Foundation to take any place, or any specific plan?
Actually, I had reported to Kevin long ago. I'm just kidding. Actually, in Hong Kong, we have already, talked to the national director in Hong Kong, Mr. Stanley Kong, and about together with Kevin, and we actually was about to start the program with the JA Hong Kong together, as what Kevin just mentioned. We are not just money on donation wise, but we are working together with them in order to help the teenagers study, and also to help their community, and also to bring how the adults work, the life is, what the BNI meeting is. That was in our plan in last year at the beginning. However, because of the pandemic, so that we cannot go offline, face to face, so that everything is put it down. But for me, this always in my mind. As I always talk to Kevin, this in someday we will definitely restart it again. Just we will restart the world. Restart the world. And I think hopefully in next year, I think a lot of people in Hong Kong, they got vaccinated, and then the school will be going a little bit in normal way, so that we can again to roll out the program with the JA Hong Kong again, because we have already have the connection with them, and they are really like with our network, that how we can help their kids. So I think this is really a good arrangement between the Hong Kong BNI and then the JA Hong Kong together, that we are helping the kids education and also the community, and also to build in a different way of thinking, about trust, about collaboration, those kind of things.
Right,
Very
Roger,
good.
thanks for the update. I just wonder, when do we think we should be having there's a common, do we have a common website or a common social media? What's the name of it, Kevin? Is it possible for you to share so they can type it out? Roger?
Well, we have the BNIFoundation.org, which is the BNI Foundation website. We are not desperately proud of our web presence and our social media presence. We have a lot of work to be doing on that. But what we are working on at the moment, and I think I mentioned it to both of you, is for a country that wants to join the BNI Foundation movement, the mindset, but isn't setting up a registered nonprofit, to be able to provide you with a standard template for a foundation, the BNI Foundation Malaysia, the BNI Foundation Hong Kong, so you can then take that and fill it with your own content. That is what we're working on at the moment. That might take a while. One of the great things about BNI. BNI itself is a unique organization, as I said at the start, the foundation too. 100% of money donated to the foundation as a donation will go to the children. No expenses will be paid out of donations given for children. We do have expenses, global support, the global headquarters help us with our expenses. When David and I travel, we travel out of our own pocket, we don't get paid, that's fine. So we don't spend any of the money that is given for donations. Because we don't have a big budget, sometimes things take a little bit longer than if we did have a big budget. But I'm happy with that, because as long as every day we are making a difference, that's what matters. People come to BNI to become more successful, to grow their own businesses, to help themselves. They don't come to BNI to be forced to do something for other people. So slowly, We have to get the message across. Slowly we communicate that it's in your advantage to help me and my advantage to help you, to help the kids, because then everybody's going to be happier and you're going to meet loads of people and make more money. If that's your goal, maybe your goal is to do something else, then do that.
Kevin, I have
So
a
hopefully
question.
in the next 3 or 4 months, by the end of the year, I'm hoping you can have a BNI Foundation website in Malaysia, Angie. That's my Christmas gift to you.
Thank you. Looking forward. I already found the website, just getting approval. Kevin, I want to ask you, there are a lot of people ask me why BNI Foundation does not support old folks home and older people. Is it possible for you to share a bit?
Yes, it is. I mean, there is so much need in the world. There is so much that should be made different. We need to plant trees. We need to look after animals. We need to look after old people. We need to take care of people who are dying in hospice. There are so many important things that we need to be doing. Well, we could be political, we could be environmental, but BNI doesn't do that, thank goodness. Yeah. So there's many, many things you can do. And the BNI Foundation, which was set up 23 years ago by Dr. Ivan Meissner and his wife, Beth, focuses on children and education. That is what we do. We don't do anything else. Now, we could have done something else, but you can't do everything. And to me, children and education is a very, very good fit with BNI as an organization, because BNI is a people organization and children will become the older people in the future. So to me, that's a perfect fit. If you and your chapter have a very good connection with an old people's home, and you in your chapter want to help that old people's home, or want to help plant trees, or want to look after sick animals, why not do it? It's not the BNI Foundation, but it's still good networking and it's interacting with your local community. How about, COVID makes things a little bit more difficult. How about if there's an old people's home there? How about trying to get a local school and an old people's home together and doing some event and teaching the children the importance of looking after old people? Or if you want to plant trees and you can't plant trees because BNI Foundation don't do trees, maybe you can teach children in an area affected by drought or affected by forest fires how to plant trees, how to water trees, how to look after the trees, and how to harvest them in future. There's always a way to include the children if you want to in some way. But that's the reason we don't specifically do, should we say, old people's home. In New Zealand, Graham Southwell and his partners have been helping hospice in New Zealand for very many years. Who am I to say stop that? That's wonderful work. It's just not the focus of the BNI Foundation, and the focus of the BNI Foundation won't change. But it doesn't mean you can't do other things.
Right. Thanks for your clarification, Kevin. That's very useful, because I got asked many times about why can't BNI Foundation focus on other area apart from children and education. Thanks for your explanation. And
maybe can I just add one thing? Maybe the same question comes up in terms of natural disasters, when there's an earthquake, forest fire, all those bad things that happen. We are not an aid organization. We don't have the facilities. We don't have the money. In Germany, we just have very big floods, huge floods. Nothing like that ever happened in Germany. We actually found a way to pass donations from people wanting to help through our local registered nonprofit. That's not children's activity, but we used it as a vehicle. We raised 82,000 euros, $100,000, which is a lot of money. But is $100,000 really a lot of money compared with all the lives and the houses that were destroyed? It's not. We at the BNI Foundation, we don't have resources to help in times of natural disaster. What we do have is resources of people willing to help children in those areas who suffer from the long-term effects in those areas long after the natural disaster itself has been forgotten. Within months, these things have been forgotten, within weeks even. That's when BNI comes in, because we help the kids who are still affected.
Wow. We'd love to actually catch you offline, because it's actually 9:35 now. And thanks for your time, Kevin and Roger. And before we sign off, thanks everyone for tuning in. And if you have any more questions for me, perhaps you can actually leave your comment here. I will actually answer it after the session, okay? Do you have any remarks that you want to share before we say goodbye to everyone here, Kevin?
I'm going to let Roger go first this time. It's been too much, Kevin.
Okay. I'm sure we in our community, in our, I mean, BNI is a big community, and we learn from here, we earn from here also. But I am sure we can surely do is we can do it, you can do it. So let's help BNI Foundation together. Let's help the kids' education, and then I'm sure in one day it will return. This is what we call givers gain. Thank you again, Kevin and Angie.
Thank you.
Okay, from me, maybe, I started BNI when I was 47, and I'm not really all that smart. I mean, I'm not stupid, but all through my life, I've had to work harder than a lot of people to achieve what other people have achieved. I'm not so organized. I'm just not so good at many things. And I joined BNI, and suddenly I have more members. After 15 years, I have more members than most people do. Well, why did I succeed at BNI and not other things? And I think that the perfect thing about BNI, and sometimes I don't even want to hear those letters because of BNI. Forget the letters. Just remember what we're doing. We are living the spirit of givers gain. We are thinking of helping Roger and helping Angie before we think what we get back. And if you're giving, if all you've got to do is give, that doesn't mean give all your money away. But if all you've got to do is help somebody else, then you go into a meeting, you help somebody else, you go home, you've achieved your target. If you're going to meetings and events with the idea of getting a referral, most of the time you're going to be going home unhappy. If you're going to meetings with the idea of giving something, all you've always got to do is give. And if you've given, you go home happy because you know one day it's going to come back. And I would never have achieved the level of, shall we say, influence on the world and the visibility that I have around the world if I tried all the last 16 years to be better than everybody else. Because I'm not. I just did what I felt was right with the system that had been given to me and ended up being a tiny little bit different than other people. If you can't be better, just be different and be the best at being different you can be. A friend of mine, Joey Kelly, he used to be part of a group called the Kelly Family, a very famous older music group in Germany. And he now runs extreme marathons, Ironman, runs across snow of Alaska and stuff like that. And now you're seeing why Kevin is 64 years old. I've forgotten the story I was going to tell. But that's the charm of life, isn't it?
Really? You've forgotten the story
Yes.
that you want to tell?
I've forgotten the story I was going to tell.
I'm going to go offline. I'm going to go offline and catch you. I wait for you to
It's always after 42 seconds it comes back. You normally have to wait and keep talking. But, the one thing he said was, don't do anything without a goal. Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to expect something to come back. Just do it, have fun, make somebody's life better because you touched them. Don't misconstrue those words. Touching people is not necessarily the right thing to say. Unless you touch their lives, don't go away until you've touched their lives. And if you touch their lives, then something's going to come back.
Thank you so much for sharing. I picked up the word organized. I am never organized in my life. So thanks for telling me, having to join the organization, we become so organized. What a word. Okay. Anyway, we are running out of time. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Do actually leave me a comment if you would like to ask me questions or Kevin Barber. So he actually leave a message, an email. You can actually channel your question directly to him regarding any questions about BNI Foundation, only BNI Foundation, yeah, nothing else. Thank you.